Today is a really exciting day for me. It's Helvellyn Day. I remember being at school in the 90s and my mate Rob Algar came back from his summer holiday and told me he'd climbed a mountain with his dad called Helvellyn, and ever since it's just had a hold of me, and now finally I'm 35 and I'm climbing it. I've already had a look, I got a sneaky peeky of Helvellyn from down there, and it looks like there's a little bit of snow on the top, or a bit of frost. There's also a lot of autumnal colour, which I'm surprised to see because of the storms that we've had in the last few days. But I'm not going to argue. I've got amazing views all round already. This mountain looks like it's going to be an amazing one. I can't wait to get started, so let's go. So I'm just at the part of the walk known as, or I'm at the section called Hole in the Wall, where the Glen Ridding path comes and intersects with the path from Patterdale, which is where I'll come up from. And I've just jumped onto the Osmo actually, so I've put my camera, put the Sony away because there was just so much water getting on the lens, and it's very hazy and misty up here, so it's just completely sodden straight away. So this camera's the one for the job. No idea how good or bad the audio is, so apologies if it's no good. And I'm just getting my first view of Striding Edge, which is the route that I'm taking, and then Swirral Edge on the way back down, but I can't see it at the moment. It's very misty, it looks ominous and gloomy, and I can't see the summit of Helvellyn either. So you never know, in an hour or so when I'm at the top, could be a completely different story. Hopefully it's no worse than it is now. So that was awesome. We made it to the top of Striding Edge, and now I'm on the sort of summit plateau, which is just there. So I'm just going to have a quick look round and just maybe take a few photos, because there are some lovely sort of low-hanging clouds around a lot of the fells, and I'm going to get a few shots of the views before that weather comes in, which I think inevitably it will do very, very soon. So I've completed my summit sandwiches now, and my summit treats. My bag is a little lighter, which is always good. And the way I'm going to be returning back to the car is via Swirral Edge. So in this weather, I've been warned it's a little bit gnarly. I'm going to take it slow, and hopefully I'll have a few spotters, and there's quite a few people around. So I don't think it's particularly, again, I don't think particularly really dangerous. I just think it could be ankle sprain territory, so I'll take it slow, but it should be fine. Look at that light over there, phenomenal. I've got a couple of nice pictures as well, so quite pleased with what I've shot today. So now it's the descent home, and well, I don't want to think about the journey home because today's been so good, but halfway there now because I'm just at the summit. And it's been awesome. The weather, we've had some views. The cloud did part. The clouds did part at some point. So at least we got some views from the top of Helvellyn. But it's cold. So down on the valley floor, it's probably about 7 or 8 degrees. But I'd be surprised if it's above. I don't know. It must be 1 or 2 degrees up here. If it was windy, it would be horrific. But I mean, look at that snow. Shows you how cold it's been overnight. So right, now to get down Swirral Edge, let's see what it's like. Here it is. So many accidents happen on descent. Don't make a silly mistake, Andy. So I'm just coming towards the end of the walk now. Sadly, because it's been a really, really good walk and one that I'll remember forever. It's a real gem of a mountain, Helvellyn. I can see why it's so popular. The temperature's dropped like crazy. It's actually picking up a bit now as I'm descending, but at the top I made the mistake of eating my sandwiches without my gloves on, and for about 20 minutes I couldn't feel my hands. They got that cold. So, but anyway, I'm warming up now, which is good. I wanted to say that two things really benefit from sort of planning these walks out in my head in stages, and I set this walk into sort of three zones, really, three sections. The first section is a big section, and that's the section I'm doing now, but in reverse, which is the walk from the car from Patterdale up to the hole in the wall. Now that is a monster section. It doesn't look so bad on Google Earth and other people's YouTube videos, but it's a long, slow and steady ascent or descent, as I'm feeling in the knees now. The second section, and this is only talking about going this way to the summit. The second section was obviously striding edge, from hole in the wall to striding edge, and an over striding edge, which was so much fun. That really was. I find that time just slips away because you're so invested in the technicality of using all four of your limbs to get yourself across that ridge. And then the final section would be the summit bid. So the steep scramble up. All right, fellas or ladies, and then the short hop to across the plateau to the summit. I actually descended via Swirral edge, so you could say that was the fourth section, which again was like, I guess it was like striding edge, but maybe a bit more acute, but shorter. There were some probably more hairy moments actually, or could have been on Swirral edge, but that's probably because I chose that clockwise route. Going up it and coming backwards over striding edge might be a completely different walk. But yeah, so if you've walked this route before, let me know how you found it, and maybe you've walked to Helvellyn across a different route, and yeah, let me know what that's like, because I really want to summit Helvellyn again. It'd be great to walk a different route next time, so let me know other routes that you would recommend. And the second thing I wanted to say was about mental health. Now, mental health can affect so many people in different ways, and the mountains and green spaces and open spaces like this are just, well, they're not the cure, you can't call it the cure, but they're certainly a really nice medicine, a really sweet pill to swallow for mental health. It's a real nice way to just escape the world. 2020 has probably been the hardest year that any of us, maybe, I don't know, can remember. It's just been start to finish with flooding and now corona, and obviously financial, social, emotional problems that everyone's having. It's just been a real tricky one. So if you can and where you can, get outside, treat yourself, do yourself a favour, because I really think you won't regret it. Earlier, last night, I was thinking, well, should I do this? It's it's a 4 hour trip there, and probably even longer on the way home, and best part of a 6-7 hour day. Is it worth it? Shall I just go up to Malverns? It's the last day before we get locked down again. And I was doubting it, and I even woke up this morning and thought, no, I'll just roll over and go back to sleep. But I'm so glad I got up here and I got this summit in the bag, because moments like this stay with you forever, especially when you climb mountains. You never forget when you summit the mountain for the first time. So if you're struggling, if you're able, if you can, get outside. It might just save your life. Today has been about a 10-mile walk. Started from Patterdale, went up via Striding Edge to Helvellyn, and then back down Swirral Edge around to Red Tarn, and then yeah, back down to Patterdale. And it's been about 10 miles. Let's see how many steps I've done. 27,522. So it's been a bit a steppy kind of day, but time to go home now. It's been an awesome day and I'm so glad that I did this. So if you're thinking of doing it, as soon as we get out of lockdown, do it. Helvellyn is a wonderful walk, and if you've got any suggestions for me for any other peaks for my 35 and 35 challenge, let me know, because I've got what, 29 to go now. I've done 6. Yes. So thanks for watching. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to be notified when I do a new video and all that YouTubey stuff. I'll see you in the next video. That's been in my bag. I haven't drunk it since I filled it up, and it's so cold because at the top it was like minus 100. Maybe not minus 100, minus 50.